Good afternoon, everyone. Brent Wessler with PIF Technologies. Another automation in action post around Power Automate and specifically an approval process triggered by a SharePoint list into a Power Automate approval process. So what we're going to do here is first go into our Power Automate backend admin system, and we're going to click on templates. I've already selected, as you can see, our approvals, and we're going to come down to request manager approval. And as you notice here, it shows the different connections that are required components of the particular solution. And we've already set this up, and you can notice that the 5 different items here that are part of this traditional template workflow, we've already have valid connections with the little check mark here. We'll come now into our flows, and by adding that, you'll see this request manager approval for selected item. And essentially, this is the flow that we're going to be using. The first part of this particular flow starts with a selected item from within a list within the SharePoint site. Then it gets that particular item's ID. It looks up my profile. It gets my manager from my profile and Azure AD, which is now Entra. And then if it does find that correctly, it's going to send a email notification to the manager. And if the manager selects yes, approved, then we're going to let myself know that the document, in this case, the invoice was approved, and we're going to update the item specifically with an approved status. So it's a very simplistic, again, this came out of the box with the template capability. And so to kick this off, we're going to go into our PIF test site. We're going to select the item we want. We're going to come up to the automate, and you'll see here the request manager approvals for selected item will initiate. And when I click on that, it's going to open up our bar on the side here to run. And I'm going to say, Chris, please approve. Okay, and then we hit the run flow. This is going to now queue up for our manager. Our manager will now get an email notification. So we're going to come in. There's a couple ways you can actually retrieve this. One, I'm in as Chris now, and you can see under the activity within the team site, we can see the document and the ability to hit approve, reject, or reassign. So those are your 3 out-of-the-box functions. We can add comments here. Additionally, we can come into our Outlook. Okay, we've received the email notification. So again, another way to retrieve and approve this invoice for Chris. As you can see here, I'm in as Chris. Call requested by Brent Wessler. You can see all the kind of the basis here. These can be configured and customized very easily. In this case, I'll hit the approve button, or again, I can come back to our team site and simply hit the okay, Brent, it is approved, and then hit the approve button, which is then going to notify Brent that the invoice has been approved. And now if we switch over to Brent, we'll see here in our activity, you can see 3D pipe approval request approved, and you can see a date timestamp. You can see what Chris wrote, and we can save that as a PDF. Otherwise, we go back into our SharePoint site. And as you can see, we go into the SharePoint site and the document has been fully approved. Thank you for watching today. This is just a quick example of the many things you can do with the Power Platform, specifically Power Automate, and its built-in template set. Please follow and like for future videos.